What if there is no single truth, no universal story, no grand explanation tying everything together? What if reality itself is fragmented, unstable, and impossible to fully grasp? This is the world of postmodernism. For much of modern history, thinkers believed in progress. They believed science would reveal truth, reason would guide society, history had direction. But in the late 20th century, this confidence began to fracture. Wars, crises, and ideological failures raised the question, what if these grand narratives were never as solid as they seemed? The philosopher Jean-François Lyotard famously defined postmodernism as incredulity toward meta-narratives. Meta-narratives are big stories, like Enlightenment progress, scientific truth, and revolutionary history, including Marxism. Lyotard argues that people no longer trust these universal explanations. Instead, we have local narratives, partial truths, and multiple perspectives. No single framework can explain everything. Postmodernism embraces fragmentation. Instead of unity, it emphasizes diversity, difference, and plurality. Reality becomes decentered, complex, and contradictory. There is no single view from above, only perspectives from within. In postmodern culture, boundaries blur, high and low culture mix, and originals give way to copies. We see pastiche, irony, and endless remixing. Meaning becomes less about depth and more about surface. Now the tension emerges, because Marxism, rooted in the works of Karl Marx, depends on something postmodernism questions, a total explanation of society. Marxism claims there is an underlying structure, capitalism, there is a central conflict, class struggle, and there is historical trajectory, transformation. In other words, it is a meta-narrative. From a postmodern perspective, Marxism becomes one narrative among many, one interpretation, not the truth. This raises a problem. If all narratives are suspect, why privilege Marxism? Why believe in class as central and material conditions as primary? From a Marxist perspective, postmodernism risks losing something essential: structure. If everything is fragmented, local, and relative, then systemic analysis becomes difficult. Capitalism is not just a collection of experiences, it is a system. Without structure, power becomes diffuse, exploitation becomes harder to locate. If there is no shared truth, no common framework, how do we act collectively? Marxism depends on shared understanding, collective identity, and coordinated action. Postmodern fragmentation can lead to disagreement, disunity, and inaction. There is an irony here. While postmodernism critiques grand narratives, capitalism continues to operate and even thrive. Some critics argue postmodernism doesn't challenge capitalism, it mirrors it. Flexible, fragmented, adaptive. Without a unifying critique, the system remains intact. But dismissing postmodernism would be a mistake. It exposes real problems. Overconfidence in grand theories, not all systems explain everything. Erasure of difference, universal theories can ignore marginalized voices. Complexity of reality, society is not reducible to a single axis. We are left with a tension. Marxism seeks structure, postmodernism reveals fragmentation. One risks oversimplification, the other risks disintegration. Neither fully resolves the problem. Postmodernism challenges certainty. It questions totality. It destabilizes truth. But in doing so, it creates a new question. If we abandon grand explanations, can we still understand the systems that shape our lives, or do we lose the ability to challenge them? In the next episode, we dive into one of postmodernism's most influential thinkers and ask what happens when power is no longer located in class or the state, but everywhere at once.